You have a Monday morning alarm set for 7 a.m. Ancient humans did not. No alarm, no commute, no inbox, no meetings, no boss, no deadlines, no performance reviews. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, sort of. There were no jobs, but there was also no supermarket, no electricity, no heating, no running water, no medicine, and there were definitely lions. So what did they actually do all day? The answer will surprise you and possibly make you furious. Because ancient humans worked far less than you do. Far less. Anthropologist Marshall Sahlins called hunter-gatherers the original affluent society. Not because they had lots of stuff, but because they had lots of time. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer groups still living traditionally show something remarkable. They work around 3 to 5 hours per day to meet all their survival needs. 3 to 5 hours. Then done. You are going to need a moment with that information. So let's walk through an actual ancient human day, hour by hour. Dawn. The camp wakes up slowly. No alarm. They woke when the light changed or when they simply felt rested. Research shows ancient humans likely slept in 2 phases, not one long block. They slept, woke in the middle of the night, talked, then slept again. Historians call this first sleep and second sleep. It was completely normal. Your 3 a.m. wake-up might just be ancient wiring, not insomnia. Anyway, back to the day. Morning, the first task. Food. But here's the thing about hunting. It did not happen every day. Big game hunts were relatively rare events. Maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And not everyone hunted. The group split tasks naturally. Some hunted. Some gathered plants, roots, berries, nuts. And here is something that will shock you about the gathering side. Gathering provided between 60 and 80% of the group's total calories. Not hunting. Gathering. Plants kept them alive far more than meat did. And gathering took maybe 2 to 3 hours. Then it was done. So by mid-morning, the food situation was often sorted. What did they do with the rest of the day? Brace yourself. They hung out. Extensively. Enthusiastically. Guilt-free. Anthropologist Richard Lee studied the Ju/hoansi of the Kalahari for decades, one of the most studied traditional hunter-gatherer groups on Earth. He found they worked an average of 17 hours per week. 17 hours per week. That is less than 3 hours a day. The rest of the time, they called leisure. So, what did that leisure actually look like? Activity 1, talking. An enormous amount of talking. Not productive talking. Not networking. Just talking. About other people. About what happened. About who did what to whom. Gossip. Magnificent, essential, hours-filling gossip. Robin Dunbar found that up to 65% of all conversation in these groups was social gossip. They were not embarrassed by this. It was the main event. Activity 2, playing. Adults, playing, regularly, without shame. Games involving running, throwing, chasing, competing. Archaeological evidence shows game pieces and play objects going back 500,000 years. Humans have always played. It is not a childhood thing. It is a human thing. Activity 3, grooming each other. Yes, like primates, because they were primates. Recent ones. Picking through each other's hair, removing debris, spending long quiet time in physical contact. This released endorphins, built trust, maintained social bonds. It was essentially a spa day. Every day. Activity 4, making things. Not because they had to, because humans cannot stop making things. Better spear tips, sharper scrapers, stronger rope, warmer clothing. But also, things that had no survival purpose whatsoever. Beads, carvings, decorations, art. The oldest known art is at least 73,000 years old, found in a South African cave. Someone made art 73,000 years ago, not for any practical reason, just because they felt like it. Exactly like you opening a sketchbook or doodling on a meeting notepad. Activity 5, music and dancing. The oldest known musical instrument is a flute, made from a vulture bone, 43,000 years old. Someone sat down 43,000 years ago and made music, not to impress anyone, not to perform, just to hear something beautiful. Dancing was communal. Everyone joined. No skill requirement. No judgment. Because when the whole tribe dances, nobody is a bad dancer. Activity 6, storytelling. Especially around the fire at night. This was prime time. One person talked. Everyone listened. No phone to check. Full undivided attention. Every night. Stories about hunts, about spirits, about other tribes, about love. Anthropologist Wiessner found that 81% of campfire talk was stories. Netflix did not invent binge watching. Ancient humans did it every night. Activity 7, napping. Yes, actual midday napping. Not as a guilty pleasure, as a standard practice. Many traditional cultures still practice the midday rest. Spain, Greece, parts of India. It is not laziness. It is biology. Your cortisol dips naturally in early afternoon. Your ancestors built their entire day around that dip. You fight it with a third coffee. Activity 8, exploring. Not with destination in mind. Just wandering. New terrain, new plants, new water sources, new neighbors. Curiosity was a survival advantage. The more you knew your environment, the safer you were. So wandering was not wasting time. It was investment. Activity 9, tending to children, but not the way you think. Ancient children were not the sole responsibility of their parents. The whole tribe raised the children. Every adult was a caregiver. Anthropologists call this alloparenting, shared childcare across the group, which meant no parent was ever solely responsible, and no parent was ever alone. Modern parenting, 2 people, maybe 1, completely alone. Ancient parenting, 15 adults minimum watching at any given moment. No wonder modern parents are exhausted. They are doing a 15-person job alone. Now, what about the actual work parts of the day? On hunting days, the hunt itself was intense, exhausting, and dangerous. Ancient humans used persistence hunting, running prey to exhaustion over hours, not sprinting, running at a steady pace, for hours, until the animal collapsed. Humans are one of the best long-distance runners on Earth, better than most prey animals. We sweat, they overheat, we win. But after the hunt, the whole tribe ate, and then rested hard. On non-hunting days, work was lighter, gathering, tool maintenance, camp tasks, and a lot of sitting around doing what felt like nothing. But it was not nothing. Sitting together in silence is bonding. Watching the landscape is information gathering. Staring at nothing is processing. Resting, restoring. Ancient humans were exceptionally good at doing nothing productively. Now, the question you are definitely asking, if they had so much free time, why weren't they more productive? Why weren't they inventing things? Building things? Advancing? And the answer reveals something uncomfortable about the world we built. They had no reason to. Their needs were met. Their community was fed. Their bonds were maintained. There was no system rewarding them for doing more. No economy. No market. No landlord. No rent. No debt. When you have no rent, you need a lot less money. When you need less money, you need to work less. When you work less, you have more time. Ancient humans had cracked a version of the good life that we are still chasing. Enough food, strong community, meaningful work, abundant rest, connection. Now, was it all perfect? Absolutely not. The infant mortality rate was devastating. Many children did not survive. A broken bone could kill you. An infected cut could kill you. Childbirth was one of the most dangerous things a woman could go through. Drought meant starvation. Winter was genuinely life-threatening. And those lions were very much real. This is not a pitch for going back to ancient times. Modern medicine alone makes now categorically better. But there is something worth looking at in how they structure their days. Work until the need is met. Then stop. Rest without guilt. Play without justification. Connect with your group. Every single day. Not occasionally. Tell stories. Make things. Move your body. Sleep when it's dark. These are not wellness trends. They are 300,000-year-old operating instructions. And your body still runs on them, whether your calendar agrees or not. The reason you feel best on a slow day with good food and good conversation is because that is exactly the day your biology was designed for. You are not being lazy when you crave that. You are being human. So, the next time someone calls you unproductive for taking a nap, tell them you are honoring 300,000 years of human tradition. And the next time you feel guilty for not being productive enough, remember that your ancestors saw food, shelter, and safety in 3 hours and called it a day. And they were not failures. They were the species that took over the planet. If this made you want to put your phone down and go outside, that is exactly what GULD is here for.